It is a very good afternoon and a hearty welcome to Chawanda Stadium. It is the Munhumutapa ZIFA Challenge Cup taking place right here in Kwekwe. It's a derby. They don't come as big as this, and nonetheless, and it's a derby that creates a great interest. It could easily be a banana skin for those in the Premier Soccer League and those in the Central Region, that is Division 1, that is Kwekwe United. They will look to do and pull a Houdini against the much feted opulent side that is Hardrock FC this afternoon. My name is Valentine Mapuga, and of course, I'm a man who never walks alone, and I've got Talubusha Pepe. Talu, good to have you on the show as well. Exciting times, good weather for a beautiful game of football. The biggest, richest cup tournament in Zimbabwean history has kicked off.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Valen. Good afternoon to everyone watching us. What a game we are supposed to be experiencing today, and Midlands Derby doesn't come bigger as this in terms of the Midlands Derby. Yes, Kwekwe United, some of you would know it, a former Premier League team, got relegated last season. They actually changed places with Hardrock. As they were relegated, Hardrock was coming into the Premier League. So yeah, we really expect a good game this afternoon.
A man with years and of experience, former Lancashire Steel. He knows a lot about the Midlands and the Kwekwe as well. That is Chief Justice Machavi. Then he went on to Captain Lancashire, went on to Captain Dynamos before he went abroad. Justice Machavi, good to have you on the show as well.
Thank you, Valentine, and good afternoon to everyone. We are here for the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup. I think it's one of those cups we will never witness again. I think it's going to be interesting, and of course it's a derby. It's a big game here in Midlands, here in Kwekwe also. You know, Kwekwe United versus Hardrock. It's a good game altogether. Both teams are from the same city. This derby, I know it means a lot for both the players, the set of players, and also as a community.
And of course, for Kwekwe United this afternoon, they will look to emulate that is their Queens side, Kwekwe Queens, that won 3-0 earlier on today, and they want to pull the kind of same result to progress to the round of 16 from the round of 32. And they had to play 3 games, Talu, that they had to play for them, that is Kwekwe United, for them, they started off from the preliminary stage for them to find themselves in the round of 32. This could still be an advantage for them, looking at also Hardrock themselves. This is the first time the Premier League sides join those that started off from the preliminary stages.
I think Kwekwe United deserve to be here, and well, someone can say it's a David versus Goliath affair. So yeah, and David being Kwekwe United, and you know what? I think Kwekwe United have nothing to lose. They really have nothing to lose. If they get this one, they'll be the giant killers. So let's see whether they've got enough pebbles to fell Goliath. And yes, and for Hardrock, yes, quite seasoned. I think now in the Premier League, they're playing very well, posting positive results. So it's going to be an interesting affair. But for Kwekwe United, I think what is going to be very, very important is the kind of strategy that they're going to bring into this game. Are they going to go pound for pound against Hardrock, or they're going to sit back and say, they would rather take it to the penalties? So yeah, but also I think what is important is they are a scoring side. If you look at their position in the Central Region, they are number 3, yes, but with a higher goal aggregate than everyone. So it means there are people who are able to score. So it's going to be quite interesting how they are going to approach this one. Remember, this one is not a league game. This one is a cup game. So they need to get results. End of the day, we are supposed to have a winner.
Just, you know, cup games always present surprises, and we've seen it in the English Premier Soccer League. Even in our local Premier Soccer League, Caps United was once knocked out by what people said was a boozer side, but it wasn't to be. That's the excitement that cup games bring. As a player yourself, what kind of strategy was used for both sets of teams, as well as Hardrock? You are in the Premier Soccer League. You have a point to prove. For Kwekwe United, you've got so much to fight for. How do you prepare for those kind of games, being a player?
You know, first and foremost, I think, it's a tricky one. And of course, you don't need to be complacent. At the same time, there's no underestimation. Getting to this stage, a cup game, you can, any strategy can work in a cup game. I think, as Kwekwe United, since they are the underdogs, they'll always come in. They will try by all means to attack. So Hardrock has to be careful in terms of their approach into the game. If they are to get chances, they need to score goals. And of course, scoring goals, it matters most, because stretching the game to the penalties is going to be a difficult one. You never know. It's a toss there. You never know which side it's going to fall on. But I think both teams are ready for this match. And considering it's a derby, there is a lot expected in this game. And they're all together, Hardrock match with pressure. And I think they will also imply whatever they're doing in the Premier League. They are second in the Premier League and they're doing so well as well. And obviously you need to carry that form into this cup game. Never look, it's Kwekwe United, but they can be surprised if they are not careful. And of course, I think they did their homework. They know each other. And also you look at Kwekwe United, it's not just a side. They also have got some experiences in them. We have seen the faces of Jaure and Ngoma there. I think it's a great team all together. So getting into this game, obviously, as a coach, one has to bring in, that positive attitude.
Dalu, let's talk about the experience that Kwekwe United bring into their side. Yes, some might say they are players that are probably over the hill, so to speak, in terms of edge as well. But that's a lot of experience that you have to count for, and to count for something here. They've got Ian Dove, who was with Caps United. Passon Jaure, nomadic, has played for so many teams. You talk of Ngoma. You went from Triangle to FC Platinum, as well as to Tanzania as well, and did well, and was a top goal scorer there. So that is a lot of experience as well. How can they tap into that kind of experience with those kind of players that they have as well in the side?
Oh yes, they blended experience with youth, and you know what? That is a very good combination. And if you look at the likes of Ngoma, you look at the likes of Jaure, these are very seasoned players. And guess what? They also have in their lineup Shelton Spanda, who is on loan from Hardrock, and who's really scoring goals for them. And so it's going to be quite interesting how they are going to manage this one. But what is important also is their goalkeeper Javangwe. And as we see the arrivals of Hardrock there coming into this game, I think they were really ready for this one.
Indeed. Let's talk about Jesse. The preparation, because sometimes as a coach you can emphasize a lot, as we see there, that is Kwekwe United arriving, and there is a lot that you always talk about in terms of complacency. Sometimes it's something that you can't control as a coach, but you can always speak to and make sure that the players are not complacent. How does he handle that? And how, because sometimes, it's something that really happens in a game of football.
Yeah, it happens. Players are always players. It's difficult for them, especially when they're coming into this. It's a good place. It's a good stadium. All the players, they sometimes, tend to relax. All the mind is gone. But you have to keep on psyching them. It's a big game. It's a game that can change their lives, and they need to proceed and also make history for themselves. So I think as coaches, they also been working with the positive attitude towards the game, and obviously they are playing against a Premier League team, and they've got nothing to lose. It's just about showing up and do your best, and obviously fight for every single ball.
I don't know, for Kwekwe United, they would have loved to play at their favorite hunting ground at Baghdad Stadium as well, but the other side that is at home here nonetheless. But I don't know if that could work to their advantage, the mentality itself that we are at home, but nonetheless not at home.
Yeah, you know what, Chawanda Stadium is a very beautiful stadium. The turf is just immaculate, and there are no bumps on the pitch, so it allows you to play whatever kind of game you want to play. But I would really hope them that they'll play a passing game, as we say, the arrival of Hardrock, their bus, and for Hardrock, this is their home, and it's actually maybe advantage Hardrock in terms of the turf. But for Kwekwe United also, I think they can quickly adjust to this kind of a turf, because it really allows you to play a passing game if you want. If you want also, you can really play, that route one football that you want. But if you look at the confidence of the players as they came through there, you can really see that they want this game. They really, really want this game. They are putting a lot of importance in. Probably they are scared of Scotland winning the championship, so this might be a fallback plan for them to play in the Champions League. So yeah, and I think also the combination of Navaya and Zimelani has finally clicked. And, beginning of the season, I think you and me were always saying, if only they taken Macheke from Tel 1, so that telepathy that Navaya had with Macheke can be translated into goals at Hardrock. But the coaches have done their homework, and they are really ready for any team. Look at how Navaya is now scoring. So it's quite interesting that they've really forged a good combination.
Justin, let's talk about Navaya, because he's such a player who's in prolific form this time around, and he's looking as well to run away with the Golden Boot as well in the Premier Soccer League. How much of an important player is he for Hardrock, particularly on a cup game like this, where you really need him to show up and get in amongst the scorers and getting in the goals?
Navaya is a player, I think he's a gunslinger. He is a goal-getter, very dangerous in front of goal. And obviously, into this game is very important. His application is going to count more. And obviously, him as I think last year he was the soccer star and also top goal scorer. And I think this is carrying him, his confidence against such teams, in the lower league. You have to play your best and obviously score many goals. And it gives him a momentum as well. He's been scoring, and also he has to continue scoring. He has done so well. Everybody knows him, and Hardrock is looking towards his ability in this game. You need to bring in more goals. I think it will count more, because straight away, if it ends a draw, it's going to penalty shootouts. So I think for players like Navaya, they need to at least start making that move. I don't know today if he's missing also Prince Dube, who has been his partner, I think, of late. They've been also doing well. A good combination has been created there, and the Dalu mentioned before. And I'm also looking forward to that. If he plays very well, maybe bring in more goals and score many goals as he can.
We just saw a psychological kind of thing happening there with the players when they come in. How important is you're a coach yourself when players go and fill the net, particularly your strikers? They go and fill the net and touch it and fill it. And what does it do to a player in terms of, trying to get into the kind of attitude, the kind of mood for the game, and have the self-belief to get the goals?
It settles the nerves, Vale. And, for some strange reason, I think everybody believes that divine intervention really intercedes there when you really get into those goals. And I think almost every other player feels by touching the net, they are really, giving themselves good luck. But I think maybe coming back to reality, for me, they really need to have a good strategy. How are they going to treat Hardrock? Are they going to allow them to play because probably they are superior from men to men, or they are going to allow the ball to play? So I think the best for me would be for them to drop that defensive line as low as possible, probably in that penalty act, and then try to get them on the counter. Because in terms of midfield battles, I don't think Goma can really outplay the Hardrock midfield.
Indeed, Hardrock midfield quite strong. They've got John Gerard Tungamira Itakwara in there, and he started battling, picked himself up. He's now the form player, a bit leaner and sharper. He's looking because I thought he was overweight when he had his first game here against Caps United as well, and the week before as well. But this time around, looking leaner, a bit sharper.
Yeah, he has got some experience. He's a national team player. It counts as well. Him in these games is also good for him. It gives him chance also to prove whatever he can do, And I'm also I'm looking forward to look at Munashe Bamara, who might make the difference in midfield. I think he is also one player Hardrock relies on, and he's very good.
Let's talk about Kwekwe United. That's their top goal scorer there for the season, together with Ngoma. And there's also Messi. There's a Messi in Kwekwe as well, who can dazzle the fans this afternoon. And he's one of those players to really watch out for, because he is their creative hub. He is the one who knows how to, get the right lines and the right pockets and inner pass there. How much of an important player will he be this afternoon as well?
very, very important player. We are actually privileged to witness a Messi at Hardrock Stadium. You know what is quite interesting is diminutive as well. So,
yes.
And he plays an attacking role, you know, an attacking role. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting how he's going to create those chances for Ian. And we have to see as well how Shelton comes in to bring in those crosses from the channels. So yeah, I think for the first 15 minutes they can take a chance. They can take a chance and really attack Hardrock. And if they see that they are failing to do that, probably drop that defensive line and allow Hardrock to play so that they can they can catch them on the counter. So it's going to be a quite interesting game there.
Indeed, as we do see the teams warming up and sharpening up themselves up. And let's now stand by for the start of the action this afternoon. Gentlemen, let's look at what the coaches had to say as well. Let's start with, let's look at Hardrock warming up as well, and look at the missing link there. I didn't see him in the team. That is Umkatafi, Prince Tube. How much of a miss will it be? Because the navigator, he has been the biggest benefactor of him arriving here at Chawanda Stadium.
Yeah, but they've got a lot of depth, Valentine. So I think these kind of games, this is where you're supposed to see your actual strength. And look, Navaya, for me, they need to play him because he needs to increase those that goal aggregate for them, and also personally increase his goal scoring. So I think Hardrock is really, really balanced. I think the technical team has really done a lot of work behind the scenes. Yes, they might falter, and this is a game of football. But for Kwekwe United, I think they need to be very wary of Hardrock.
Indeed, as we look at Gerard Takwara, look at him now. Jassy, that was your position in the middle of the park, and he's looking a bit sharper. And you look at how he also motivates other players, how he moves and how he encourages them, and how he's almost like singing and talking to his players while warming up.
Yeah, he's a leader, you know. He has shown it, you know, so many times for the national team before, and also when he played locally. And now he's back. I think he has got some experience. He's teaching them, and he's also playing to others. And I think it's very important, if you're a senior player, you need to bring back something so that the young ones can as well see and learn from you.
Indeed, we did see also the navigator, Washington Navaya, man, we have already spoken about, and who's doing well for the team, that is Hardrock, and he's carrying the team this season as well, as he moved from Gweru to Kwekwe. He's still a Midlands boy, so you get to appreciate his great talents as well. And we did manage also to speak to the coaches as well, and look at how they're going to be setting up their two sides, and I'm sure we can have a listen what they had to say.
I might not necessarily say we are at home. Really, we are not at home. We are away from home. Particularly, we never feel the pitch. We've never given that opportunity to feel the pitch. But those are some of those things, but I cannot give you an excuse. But really, we are ready for the match. There is nothing to talk about much. I want us to see what is going to happen in the match. But particularly if you look at our side, we've got Premiership players who have played there, Patson Jauri, Donald Ngoma, to mention a few, even Tafaza Jabango, to mention a few. Those guys, they've seen it all. There's not much. They've been playing these debuts, so it's not new. Even to me, it's not new.
We just want to appreciate also the sponsors that have come on board. Brings a lot of competition, especially that the winners of this cup will be the ones that will be participating in the confederation. So this is not just an ordinary cup. There is a lot at stake to fight for. It is a derby. We have probably a number of players that are with Kwekwe that have played for Hardrock, so it's not going to be a walk in the park, and we just hope and anticipate that the game is going to be exciting to allow the fans to be entertained. We've maintained the same lineup that played in the last game, with the only exception that is not there is Prince, who is out of the team because of an injury. Soso comes in today and is starting. He's been starting in the other games, but I think we have maintained the last team that played in the last game.
There you have it. The teams are ready. They're about to come. It's about to be exciting as the two teams are about to take over. Let's take on to our commentary team for the live match between Hardrock and Kwekwe United this afternoon.
A window of opportunity set in stone, written in the stars. It is the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup. If you remember the ZIFA Cup, this is a rebranding, something similar to the FA Cup, and it's knockout football like no other. Now we sing the national anthem. Welcome along. It is the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup round of 32. It is a different type of knockout football that we have locally. We've got 11 games being played across the nation in the men's division, and also in the women's side there are games that were played earlier. It is the Munhumutapa, and I would like to welcome you to the Chawanda Stadium, where Kwekwe Utd, Division 1 side, will be taking on Hardrock FC, a side that plays in the Premiership and is in second position. Now for some pre-game rituals and formalities, as we're seeing the two captains shake some of those hands and get acquainted with what's going to be happening in today's game. We have always fancied fairy tale stories whereby a side playing in a lower division gets an opportunity to play against a team that is playing top flight football. And the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup brings us that action right to our doorstep. And these are our match officials for today. The center referee, Tabani Rosario, assisted by Wirimai Muroyiwa. And then Sem Mahachi is the second assistant referee. Todd Matenga is the fourth official, and then the match commissioner is Wilfred Mukana. That is what the setup for this game. That is the side Kwekwe Utd playing in the Central Region Division 1 Soccer League, and this is their starting lineup. Looking at the squad that they have brought today, with in goal Tafadzwa Jabangwe, in the backline Shelton Sibanda, Rick Water, Patson Jaure. A lot of experience coming in with the captain, and also Ian Yoni is one of the players that we're going to be looking forward to to watch. And then for Hardrock with coach Calvin Kind with the Confederation Cup in sight has got Martin Mapisa. Not many changes, only Sambulo Simelani coming in to replace Prince Dube, who's out with an injury. But their striker with the goals, Washington Navaya, is in the starting 11, 14 goals to his name. So we have a setup. You talk about that experience that Kwekwe United have, and also the prowess in the local league, the premiership that Hardrock are bringing in analysis, joined by Maxwell Mandijidza. Big encounter, but also the story. Division 1 side with the premiership side.
Wow, what a game we have, Sandra, this afternoon, and you can't just put it any better like you just did there. Two teams with different positions in different leagues. Hardrock fighting for the PSL title, Kwekwe United fighting to come back into the Kasolaka Premiership, and as we're just seeing their course there, I think they will be fighting today as well, as it is a derby between these two teams, and I think the one who gets it to the next round will be having the pride to continue and represent Kwekwe in this humongous Challenge Cup, Sandra, with a lot of money on the title, $1 million for the prize winners, and also a position in the Confederations Cup. There's a lot to play for both these teams this afternoon.
A lot to play for and a lot to prove as well, as we are seeing the coach, Tendai Chikuni for Kwekwe United. He is a man that said in the pre-game that there is nothing new. They've been in this position before, looking at that experience that he brings on board, having coached the likes of Tel1, Shabani Mine, getting them promotion in the Premier League. And there is some communication there as we are seeing the center referee, and that's the kickoff whistle. The journey has started. Kwekwe United in white and sky blue get us underway. They are playing as the home side. Their usual place is Baghdad Stadium, but because it's not approved for PSL games or for games of this nature, they had to settle for Chawanda Stadium. But seconds in, and already there is an opportunity on this side. Washington Navaya with the delivery, and then it's a goal. Rather shocking, silent, but not much in terms of the development moving forward and getting this particular goal. For it is Neliswa Dlamini, the Eswatini, getting that goal. Shocking. I was just saying seconds into the game, and seconds in, they have a goal. Less than a minute.
Oh, what a poor start for Kwekwe United. They started with the kickoff, and Hardrock, just as they got that ball into the box there, I think it was Navaya and the goalkeeper spilling it, and he was there, Dlamini, to slot it into the back of the net, and they've already taken the lead. I'm sure this is not really what they would have wanted to start like. But a good start from Hardrock, pouncing on that era and getting the first goal.
Yeah, Neliswa Dlamini is the player that has gotten his name on that score sheet. It is the round of 32 in the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup, and it's all about a place in the round of 16. And already, Hardrock, we are getting the sentiments, exactly what they are here for. It's all also about the bragging rights. It is a Midlands derby after all, both products from the Central Region Division 1 Soccer League, and they are fighting it out. Nervy moments for this side. Do you think there is that opportunity to step up again, as we are seeing there is a bit of movement on that far side for Kwekwe United to try and create something?
Yeah, I think they'll be feeling hard done by that, but they have to keep their eyes on the ball.
Offside for Washington Navaya. He's hoping to maybe add more goals for himself in this season. Obviously, you also want to go in the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup.
Yeah, it's a new cup altogether, and he's starting from zero now. He does have the goals in the PSL, but he would want also to be the top goal scorer in this one. I think the intent has been set from Hardrock with the kind of players that they've selected. Almost a few players missing, Prince Dube as well, like you mentioned, Sandra. But I think Kwekwe United have to be wary here. They have to get their act together, because it might be a long day for them with the way Hardrock has started this game.
Long day, Chawanda Stadium, Kwekwe, City of Gold. Washington Navaya, can he get an opportunity? He's trying for a cross into the box, but unable to do so. Blocked before it could go anywhere by Chipo Munyaradzi. Already so much effort coming in that goal area for Kwekwe United. They need to be careful. Already first blood has been drawn by Hardrock, hoping to continue in that same trajectory. Tubelise Mavuso, he takes it from the corner, could lift on the ball, no one to take care of it. Maringai ends up being a goal kick, but it's such a moment that we definitely weren't expecting. Not given an opportunity to settle down, Kwekwe United.
Yeah, no settling down for them. I don't think of the 11 players, all of them have been able to get a few of the ball, and already Hardrock have the lead. And I still think that they do have the players that can make a difference for them. They also do have the experience as well.
The experience is there. There's a try for some connection on that far side. Looking at two sides that have been doing well in their respective leagues. You talk about Kwekwe United, third position in the Central Region, Division 1. 39 points that they've managed to get on board. From 18 games, they've managed 12 wins. They are trying so hard to get back into Premiership football, but this is also a good test. Are they ready for Premiership football? Because this is the competition that they're going to be facing. Hardrock second in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League with 51 points from 26 games, 15 wins, 6 draws, and then 5 losses. And also good goal difference, 27, which means that they have been active in front of goal.
Yeah, Kwekwe United will believe that they've done it before and they can do it again. But as you're saying, Sandra, just a taste of the kind of competition and level of football that they will be facing if they are to make it back into the PSL. I just feel like they do have an opportunity here in this Challenge Cup. Also remembering that if they end up winning it, they can definitely also be playing in the Confederations Cup come next year.
The opportunity is high and wide, but the hunger, the tenacity to go for it is the bigger question. Can you prove yourself on the stage? There's been a lot of cries, especially in prior years, whereby we needed this sort of competitiveness, bringing some of the Division 1 sides to play against top flight teams and look for those surprises, because this is exactly what makes the game more beautiful, because you never know, they can bring an upset that we wouldn't be expecting. Right on that corner, it's a bit of a battle with the goal scorer. Now goes out for a throw in for Kwekwe United.
Yeah, the game is just slowing doan a little bit now. I think Kwekwe United would want to get into the game. Pastor Jauri, their captain with a lot of experience, will be quite key in commanding that back four, and as well the rest of the team trying to calm things down a little bit. They do have the likes of Jonathan Goma, who has been their man in front of goal. I think you also want to get a little bit of some opportunities and try to get an equalizer as early as they can.
Most certainly, Donald Goma on 7 goals. We would like to get one, and there's a good delivery. Placement was good, just unlucky that it landed behind their striker as they try to get a bit of composure, get themselves back into the encounter. Rick Bota almost getting away with that one, but whistle blown in the end.
Yeah, a little bit positive from them. I think they just have to take care of the ball more carefully, keep possession, not lose it like that. They won't probably have much of the ball with the way Hardrock plays, and also the counter-attack is going to be a huge threat to Kwekwe United.
Now it's a matter of treading on thin ice. Any attempt to attack might be detrimental for Kwekwe United. Need not forget, we might be at Chawanda Stadium, but Kwekwe United are the home side this time. But the only one place for either to get into the round of 16. And there's Hardrock with another attempt, headed back by Neliswa. But Tubelise Mafuso unable to get a good connection with the ball. Now it's Kwekwe. The bit of composure, but coming in from behind, a push by Neliswa Dlamini.
Yeah, you can just see how hard Rock are playing and how quick they can actually change the tempo. Unfortunately, a foul they considered that time around, that cross into the box, and they do have the capable headers in the box. Navaya is also dangerous with the ball in the air as well. So a lot of positions with the threat coming to Kwekwe United. I think they really have to be able to see what's going on here in their back four, as well as balance that with their attacking approaches as well.
Yeah, Gerald Takwara, then infringement on Donald Goma, giving away a free kick. For Kwekwe, they can salvage anything at this moment, and it's a good opportunity for them to sort of rattle the neck. Kelvin Kaindu is watching. It's all about hitting it out of play, and that's exactly what they have done. And that's a corner kick for Kwekwe.
Yeah, I think that's another avenue that they have to exploit, those set pieces. You don't want to put those at waste. If you get a corner kick, just put a good ball into the box and give those likes of Ngoma a chance to get a head on the ball. Takuzwa Chumowa as well. I think that this is a decent opportunity for Kwekwe United.
Decent opportunity. Left, not much height on the ball. Talking about the stands, especially the Kasongo end, that is always in focus many a times, and not many fans coming through to watch this game. It would have been electric atmosphere, especially with the knowledge that this is a derby and it's the first time that these two sides are meeting. Ambitious, but no results at the end of the day. In 2025, that's when Hardrock were fighting to get promotion into Premiership football. For Kwekwe United, a difficult season marred by a lot of financial troubles, only getting one win. And then the delay by the goalkeeper, giving away a corner kick. Tafadzwa Jabangwe, highly not expected of him, winning goalkeeper of the month for the month of June, which means that he's doing well on some of his tactics. It's still too early. And there's that delivery. They still have a chance, they still have an opportunity brought down. But now a chance for Kwekwe to move forward. They choose.
Yeah, I think that was the application of the new FIFA rules there. I think the Kwekwe United goalkeeper not quite sure about those, because he kept the ball for far too long.
And there's another one all by himself. Neliswa was the player that was meant to receive that ball, but unable to get to it. But it's Hardrock still continuing with their challenge to get more goals. Sambulo Simelane is getting a start after Prince Dube got that injury. He was set to give maybe an assist, and it reached Neliswa Dlamini.
Yeah, Kwekwe United, I think they just have to get out of their comfort zone, wake up a little bit here before the game runs away from them.
They need to wake up as quickly as possible, and also make sure that they clean up their lines quite well. The way that they conceded that first goal, highly unexpected, especially from the spectators, I believe. Because you look at on paper the experience that Kwekwe United bring on board, they really should have put up a good fight, Now it's in the back where there could be a possible opportunity. Gushero keeping it in time long enough for Chimoa to get to the ball. Back to Gushero once again. And now it's Hardrock communicating and giving away a throw in on this one. And it's Rick Bota who's in charge. Playing the passing game right close to the corner flag, and it goes out for a corner. They made him work, and that's good enough for them.
Yeah, a little bit better from Kwekwe United now. You can see exactly trying to straight the defense and getting those third pieces again. Another corner kick that time around.
Taking it from the corner. Takudzwa Chimoa gets it in, hit it down, but collected by Martin Mapisa. So now it's the counter, an opportunity like this tournament brings on board, and good contention as well from the captain Patson Jaure to make sure he slows down Sizwe Kumalo.
Yeah, Kumalo he had two players on the left flank and decided to play through ball. That really had Jaure on its feet, and Jaure doing well to just cut that away. I think it could have been better if he had placed it to the left side.
Long throw in by Ramek. It's all about getting to the ball, getting that control. Kumalo. Getting another throw in. There's that replay. That contention. It's all about making sure the lines are clean, and it was the captain tasked to get off the crossbar. And a second attempt above the crossbar. They are close, but it's the goals that are going to make a difference in this encounter. A one-goal lead is still narrow, and it's still early in the game.
Yeah, Hardrock trying to aid a second there, and a flick on header going on to the crossbar. Surviving again, Kwekwe United. I think they have to do better. They have to make sure that their main marking in that box. You cannot give a sniff to the kind of important attack that Hardrock has. And fortunately for them, that time around, being saved by the crossbar.
Saved by the crossbar. In this moment, it is Tafadzwa Chabangwe's best friend, really keeping out that attempt on goal. Now it's Hardrock playing in the back quite comfortably. Now it's Jero Takwara bring it in. Now it's a switch toward the captain, Muringai. Having a good control on the ball. Getting in, getting some space. Dlamini, it was right in front of him, but the two defenders, Jaure as well, just being that shield. It's another big challenge by Muringai. But that was a moment right in front of goal. Great delivery. And Dlamini could have settled it as we get a second watch.
Yeah, first time around the cross, I think it must have been Mavuso who missed it with the head, and Dlamini on the rebound trying to get to it as well. And again, Mavuso, no one marking him in that box, and the cross coming in. A very similar kind of attack from Hardrock again. And Kwekwe United have not yet realized exactly the importance of making sure that they're marking in that box. You can just feel that Hardrock are probably going to be the first to get the second goal here.
Yeah, obviously, Washington. Navaya delivers, unable to get a good connection. The goalkeeper collects. And there was a sprinting player coming in to just collect and settle things. But some of the fans really enjoying themselves. It must be good to be a Hardrock fan at this moment. Everything going in your favor. As you get a feel, it is the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup. Having a Division 1 side play against a team in the Premier League. That's the beauty of it all. There is Division 1 football as well. The women's side games played. Earlier it was Kwekwe Queens beating Shedza Queens 3-0. So there is action all over the nation. And it started earlier on, 11 o'clock kickoff for the ladies. But Kwekwe United with a breath of fresh air. Good move. But then the fighting spirit from Gerald Takwara settling for a corner kick. But it is the effort from Takuzwa Chimoa. Just getting inches in and in. Probing for something. Martin Mapisa handing out some instructions to his side to make sure there is a good setup in the box, to make sure they defend quite well. The cross comes in, not good enough. Doesn't get too far, but ambitious from a very, very long distance. It's not easy to get past Martin Mapisa, but in an attempt to clear, almost setting up Navaya. That's exactly what you don't want to see.
Yeah, definitely. I think they've been a little bit positive on that left flank. Takuzwa Chimoa has been their best avenue so far, and they've been getting the corner kicks. They have more corner kicks than Hardrock. They have to make them work, and they have to make the better of those set pieces.
Have to do the best that they can. Giving a different story. Midlands Derby, and the fans, the ones that have found themselves here at Chawanda Stadium, now waiting anxiously to see how this is going to end. If by any chance this ends as a draw, we go straight into a penalty shootout to find the one that's going to make it to the round of 16. And the tournament will continue from there. But we focus in the moment. A free kick by Kwekwe, able to get much out of it. They try to play in the back, dangerous for Truda Majao. Now settling for the goalkeeper to come and support. Flag stays down, nothing going on. Now it's a yellow card.
Yeah, he ends up getting the yellow there. I think he was trying to challenge for the ball as it was hanging in the air. The goalkeeper, a little bit of a bizarre moment there for the goalkeeper, coming all the way off his line, Martin Mapisa, and not being able to call it first time. Just there. And I think it was in his right to try and challenge for it, but a definite elbow and a push there to the goalkeeper. I think that would be a well-deserved yellow card. You just can't do that.
Highly unexpected from Donald Ngoma. He has been having a good run at Kwekwe United. Now for Martin Mapisa, getting some medical attention, but also off the screen, some of the coaches getting a chance to add a few instructions, especially the coach for Kwekwe United, Coach Tendai Chikuni. He really wants his side to perform better. 21 minutes played, and it's Hardrock leading by a single goal to nil against Kwekwe United, the home side. Colvin Kaindu doesn't have much to give. It seems as though it's going according to plan, and that goal is just the cherry on top.
Yeah, he was like how man, isn't he? I think he'll be quite glad with how the season has transpired, both on the PSL and now in this Munhumutapa Challenge Cup. We'd want to have a similar result and try to go all the way and lift the trophy. And if it doesn't happen in the PSL, perhaps they can get their hands on some silverware in these trophies. Also remembering that the Chibuku Super Cup is still to come.
Yeah, indeed, there is a lot to play for this season. The Chibuku Super Cup 15 to 16, but there's another challenge by Hardrock. They are finding themselves in similar positions. They could have scored in earlier attempts, but last minute defense mechanisms being brought on board by Kwekwe United to make sure it stays at 1-0. Just realizing that the goal came before the minute mark in the game, seconds in, and Tendai Chikuni watching, hoping for the best, fingers crossed. said he hasn't been in he has been in these types of situations. Now Washington, Navaya on that left side, bring it in, but didn't get enough speed to beat the defenders from Kwekwe and reach the intended target. They are trying a similar effort. Hopefully, maybe they might get a goal.
Yep, Navaya again getting so much space and almost changing position as well, almost playing in a free role in front there, switching to the left flank, and unfortunately he just couldn't get enough pace that he wanted on that cross.
It's a battle by the corner flag, brought down with a throw in for Kwekwe United. Highly unnecessary in that moment as we get a second look. Donald Goma being brought down in that moment, and right in front of the assistant referee.
Yeah, and the number of set pieces they've been able to get, Sandra, I think they have to start to make better use of them now. And they've been getting them in decent areas, especially this time around.
Yeah. Good opportunity. There's a free kick. An opportunity for the team in white and sky blue. Already pushed out of the danger zone. They play it back. They need to find their rhythm as quickly as possible. How can they fend off this side? A pass highly unfortunate. You would believe that each time they get the ball, they are the more careful side. Keep possession for a little bit longer. Understand how you'd like to attack Hardrock and then move on from there.
Yeah, I think the likes of General Takwara will be smiling seeing Kwekwe United playing the way they have been playing. Not really giving a challenge to the back four. They do have Dunan Goma, who's tall as well, strongly built. I think they have to start supplying him with the kind of balls that he can challenge as well. They haven't really shown up for this game so far.
The magnitude of the encounter and almost poor communication between the goalkeeper and the captain Jaure there, Tafadzwa Jabangwe. That could have been disastrous.
That could have been a second, and that could have been an own goal. Always difficult defending or facing your own goal, but Jaure doing so well that time around.
Every moments, but another from quite a distance from Mavuso. He's a player who was able to get his first goal in the stripes in their last game against Manika Diamonds. Hoping for more, and there's a chance to move forward. For Kwekwe, it's always a keen eye, because we're wondering when they're going to bring on some of that magic into this game. And it's back to Jabangwe, their goalkeeper. Some of the experience that they are banking on, and a good steal right on that far side, delivered, but straight to the goalkeeper. There were options for Mavuso. But it's a game where a lapse in concentration could be very detrimental for this Kwekwe side.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the Mavuso could have had a better pass with so many players opening up for him.
Hoping for something, but goes out for a throw-in for Hardrock. Washington Navaya was brought down, but there was nothing to it, says the centre ref.
Yeah, I think Hardrock have been creating many chances. They would also want to capitalize and at least get a second here before the half-time break.
And straight into the hands of Jabangwe. That is the movement of this game. Highly anticipated encounter in Kwekwe, a city of gold. Would have liked to set this place ablaze. Quite fortunate, some of the fans are walking in slowly but surely. They are coming to support their side. It's all about the bragging rights, as they are right next door to each other. There's a family affair, even with the number of players that they were able to get in that mid-season transfer window. The likes of Alpha Dube, once more Ururi, the likes of Junior Gilbert Sibanda. They have played for Hardrock before, and now they are at Kwekwe United.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Kwekwe, they have to play at the home of Hardrock as well. And Coach Tendai Chikuni was talking about how he doesn't feel at home whilst he's playing at home in this fixture.
And there's that another opportunity. The captain gets a good cross, lines it perfectly well according to the angle, going for that near post, and it took a lot from Jabangwe to sort of settle this one. But Muringai, good eyesight in terms of where exactly he wanted to play the ball, diagonally toward the goal. And they are taking it from the corner. Another one, good delivery, just no one to settle it into the back of the net.
Yeah,
there's that replay.
Good day from the goalkeeper, watching his angles. As a goalkeeper, Jabangwe, you never want to be beaten on your near post. Could cut back 10 into the area, and when we thought that it was going to be cross, trying to surprise the goalkeeper that time around, Tafadha Jabangwe has actually been able to cover his angles quite right.
He has been a busy man, Tafadha Jabangwe. Of the two goalkeepers, Martin Mapisa yet to be tested, getting a feel of the ball from moments to moments. But the goalkeeper here, Jabangwe, it is a good outing, family affair like highlighted. It's good to see the young ones being brought on to watch the game. You never know when the future stars are going to be coming in.
Yeah, it's a beautiful scene, Sandra. Just seeing still some fans still coming into the game. But you have to be worried if you are Tendai Chikuni, when you are seeing Tino Tenda Muringai, the Hardrock captain, going all the way from the back into the box, almost getting a goal for himself as well. I don't think they've been able to match the kind of gameplay that Hardrock have brought up this afternoon. But still, just a single goal separating these two, with a lot of time still to be played.
And past the half-hour mark, and it's Hardrock again on the attack. It's all about getting that opportunity. Unfortunately, able to turn that one into a goal. Playing it back, he is getting a lot of that ball. Simelane. The efforts really have to pay out.
Yeah, the ball retention has been quite good from Hardrock, quickly getting the ball back after losing it. It looks like they're the ones that are behind, but it's Kwekwe United who should be playing like that.
Yeah, and another attempt right to the near post, Washington Navaya. And that laugh says a lot as to how they're feeling about how the team is moving on the field of play. And it's another corner. We're talking about Kwekwe getting a lot of corner kicks. But Hardrock, they are coming in, going for a first-time volley, and almost getting something. Sizwe Kumalo, the Eswatini.
Yeah, good strike from Kumalo that time around. Just not getting the deep you would have loved, but a very wonderful strike from range.
And another one from Ringai. The captain is just looking for someone who can bury it into the back of the net, but it hasn't been so. Maybe the reading between the captain and the players in front. And that's Shepherd Chawanda. The investment, we can see it with the quality of a side has been able to build, and also the stadium in itself, utterly magnificent. Would be hoping for more. Pretty sure happy with that one goal lead. but expecting more from the side.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Hardrock definitely have the ability to get more goals here. And as a cup game, you never want to leave it with only a single goal difference. I'm quite sure Kwekwe United will have their chances as well. And I think Chawanda would want to see this Hardrock team bury those chances in front of goal going into the break.
33 minutes played at Chawanda Stadium in Kwekwe. It is a Midlands derby between these two sides. So far it has been one-sided, with Hardrock dominating and a goal to show for it. It's a matter of who will be able to last the full 90 minutes. And Hardrock seems they are the side. Muringai getting one in. Finally, they allow it to play out for a throw in Kwekwe United. But you can see the movement. Muringai is certainly on top of his game in this one.
Yeah, impressive, the captain. And the overload coming from the left flank now from Hardrock. Probably the third or fourth time that we have seen Muringai going for that overlapping run. Kwekwe United have not yet managed to get the grips of that attacking flank.
Leaving it for Water. Fongoma, he needs that support if they're going to move forward. Back to Jaore, back to the goalkeeper as well. And now it is no man's ball, goes out. Highly unexpected, especially when you're looking at how you are trailing behind. But we're getting a replay. Muringai, opportunity after opportunity, playing it into the box. And there's another one, Washington Navaya from the same side, the left flank. That's where they are building that pressure from.
Yeah, plenty of chances coming from that left flank as well. I think they've also been very good at putting on the pressure on Kwekwe United that time around. You just think Jabangwe playing it off the field of play because of the pressure coming through. And their desire to get back in position when they lose it has been very impressive this afternoon.
It's on this near side. Truda Majao brought down. It's a free kick for Kwekwe. Slow and steady sometimes wins the race. It's Kwekwe steady. That free kick is taken. But almost that poor communication between Mapisa and Gerald Takwara. Tendai Chukuni is a man in a hot seat, very, very hot seat. It's back to basics for Hardrock with the Songo Golden Boys. They play against the Gold Boys, that is Kwekwe. I think the nicknames tell a lot in terms of the city in which these sides are bred. That precious mineral resource. That's a good stamp on their name, and a good steal as well by Mavuso. Gets in, trying to connect with Washington Navaya, but played out. Highly unexpected. What a moment. That's exactly what they've been bringing on board. Those moments where you're not expecting it, as we get a replay.
Yeah, good steal that time around. I think it was Tipo Mnyaradzi who managed to get the clearance that time around. But I've been talking about them not really taking care of the position when they get the ball, Kwekwe United. And they're continuing doing that as well, which must be worrying for Tendai Chikuni.
Trying to get away from the danger zone. Ngoma playing it on for Gushero. Back to Ngoma once again, able to get a bit of control and trying to get back for the ball, but a collision in the process with Simelane.
Yeah, think it's Ngoma who has come up the waist from that tackle. Simbelani as well, probably the guilty party in it. The referee giving the free kick to Kwekwe United. Now you just have to see the likes of Ngoma coming in too deep to try and collect the ball. Not really a position where you'd want to see him there. Just look like they've given something to each other there. You're just seeing that replay. Yeah, both going for the ball, but I think Ngoma was a little bit late to the challenge. But fortunately, he actually got the free kick from the referee.
Yeah, that seems to be the situation, as both players being looked upon by the medical teams. Some of the subs ready as we get close to the end of the first half. 38 minutes played. So looking at these two sides. Also a yellow card, a booking as well. Just waiting for that confirmation. That action on. And it is Sambulo Simelani who gets the yellow card. And there's that replay of the goal, seconds into the game, by Dlamini. And there's that goal, emphatic, big, and those were the celebrations. But behind the scenes, Simelani Sambulo is the player that got the yellow card.
Yeah, a good start for Hardrock that time around. But I think Simelani just unfortunate to get a yellow there, because it did look like he got to the ball first. And I think it was probably the cries from Ngoma that convinced the referee that Simelani was the guilty party in that incident.
They get that free kick. They bring it out for Chimoa. Makes it a good delivery, trying some acrobatics there by Rick Bota. They're still in possession, which is a good thing. It's a long one forward. Chibota getting to it, looking for the assistance of Kushero. He tries, but something in the making for Kwekwe United.
Yep, trying to be a little bit much more creative that time around. And that'll be counting as an attempt off target as it may be. And I think that'll be encouraging for Kwekwe, as we're just seeing the confirmation for the yellow. And Ngoma still outside of the pitch before you can come back into the game. I think if it goes off time like this, Kwekwe United and Tendai Chikuni will still think that they do have an opportunity and a way back into this game. And Hardrock will be wondering if they could have scored more here, Sandra, because they have been creating those chances.
And in the beautiful game, there is always that idea of a punishment. If you don't take care of the chances that you get, it would be a big cry for Hardrock if Kwekwe are able to sneak past an equalizer and sort of bring things back to parity. They will be crying for those missed chances and opportunities. About 3 minutes, a few seconds left of the regulated first 45 in this game. And it's a similar case for Hardrock. Simelani plays it in and almost getting a goal. Disappointed, he knows, because he could have done better. Right in front of the goalkeeper. Could have made the difference. Tubelile Mavuso. It could have been a second just before the halftime break.
Yeah, what a chance. And a good cross from Simelani. And with the goalkeeper Beren, he just had to slot it into the back of the net here on that angle. And probably not getting the right contact that he wanted, Mavuso. And definitely you know that there was a huge opportunity to get the second for Hardrock just before the halftime break.
A second for Hardrock, and it would have been a second for him in Zimbabwean football. But Kwekwe United bring a different kind of effort and feel to the game. But Takwara just clearing the lines. As we are seeing that Matsibaba watching the game from the stands. It's Kwekwe United. Kushero almost sneaking one past Gerald Takwara, who's been solid in the back, but also Kwekwe United, we can't take away the fact that they're bringing on an effort, but it's a switch from attack to defense for Kwekwe from Navaya, and there's a delivery quite emphatic from Kumalo. But to talk about that connection, Navaya getting the ball, playing it in for Dlamini, and then Kumalo.
Yeah, Kumalo from range couldn't keep it down and couldn't keep it on target. But getting a little bit end to end now, you can just see that Kwekwe United getting a sniff, creating some chances for themselves, especially Messi Kushero. They do call him Messi for a reason, I believe, Sandra.
We talk about when parents can see the future, they give you a name in accordance.
I think it's probably the best way for Kwekwe to get back into this game with how he has been playing. In fact, not really getting the support we would have wanted. I think guys, the likes of Ngoma have not really come to support as well, not getting the supply as well. I think that will be one thing, a talking point for today, Chikundi, at the halftime break.
A lot of conversations, especially for Kwekwe United. Maybe it might be the mentality. You could hear Tendai Chikuni in the pre-game interview saying that he doesn't really feel at home. You have to get into a game with the mentality that you can win, give it your all. Said he couldn't give an excuse, but to some extent, the mentality coming in with Kwekwe United, not really a winning mentality.
Yeah, probably you just sense that they would have wanted to play in a different stadium. But it is what it is, like you're saying, Sandra. You have to get on with the game. And as it stands, they're still in the game. Only a single goal separating the two. And there's been a little bit of some positives from the way they've been playing. They probably have to pull up their socks in the second half.
2 minutes added on in this first half. Can something happen? A bit of magic. Navaya missing the ball and losing his footing there. Good movement on the ball. Nice little trick to keep possession for Hardrock. The side that are enjoying themselves. It is the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup. In 2005, if you remember, it was the ZIFA Unity Cup. It's a rebranding. Masvingo United won that one. That was the last edition, but it's back. And every team of the 32 that have qualified for this round are looking for an opportunity to lift that trophy at the end. Hardrock, they know they have a bigger side on the Cup, Confederation Cup, and that's they play like this. A bit too much, overcooked. They attempt to get a second goal just before the halftime whistle.
Yeah, Coach Calvin Kaindu would be happy with what I have seen, but probably a little bit disappointed with the number of chances that they've created and not been able to bury them, especially Mabuso. He could have been scored 2 already if they had got an opportunity that he just got recently. I think you want to emphasize the need to finish off those chances come the second half.
Clinical finish, the golden touch. Teams in a golden city. Quite an irony. The contention there between Kumalo and Donald Ngoma. And that whistle marked the end of the first half. Not much in terms of drama in the first half. 2 minutes only added on. Just your sentiments going into the second half and preparing for that halftime break.
Yeah, it has been a good game, probably slowing down a little bit in between that first half, Sandra. But it has been very good from Hardrock, and the kind of attacking football that have been on display has been impressive. Probably we could have seen more goals. And for Kwekwe United, I think they were caught napping in those first few seconds of that first half, and they'll go in the break, go down, but they will be still in this game come the second half.
It is the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup, and we're at Chawanda Stadium. Kwekwe United taking on a Hardrock, a game that has already given us a goal in the first minute by Neliswa Dlamini. He's the player that's on the mark for Hardrock, and it has given them that all crucial lead as they prepare for the second half. A lot of conversations in the back room, obviously, especially for Coach Jendai Chikuni for Kwekwe United. He would really want something to celebrate. They are doing well in the Division 1 League Central region. They would also want to carry on that momentum of excellence in this Munhumutapa Challenge Cup. It is a clean slate, and we're about to cross over for that halftime analysis. So the first half ends Kwekwe United 0, Hardrock 1.
Indeed, welcome right here. The first half has come and it's gone. In the Munhumutapa ZIFA Challenge Cup right here at Chawanda Stadium, as Kwekwe United take on Hardrock, and Kwekwe United conceding in the first minute in a lapse of concentration from their back four there, and they conceded quite early. And I still have Talibutla Pepe as well as Justice Chief Machavi as they give us more analysis. Gentlemen, first 45 of this game is coming on. Talu, your prognosis of the first 45, how you saw it from the coach's kind of eye.
Yeah, well, Valentine, what an interesting first half. But very, very unfortunate for Kwekwe United to concede in the first minute. I think it is an issue of nerves. Well, I think Jaure was supposed to just clear that ball. And then I think also the first 15 minutes you're supposed to remain as compact as possible because you know that you're playing a superior team. So try and get into this game slowly and really be compact. But unfortunately they wanted to go pound for pound, and it really had a telling effect on their game. But I feel basically Kwekwe United is giving them too much respect. They've got flashes of brilliance, so they're supposed to move the ball better. But for Hardrock, look, they're seasoned, and I think their campaign in the Premier League is telling us that they're using that width and really passing that ball between the lines. So yeah, Kwekwe United is supposed to try to be as compact as possible. But I think also their decision making in the final third needs to improve, because they are not giving us a lot of variety. Even the corner kicks, they're not really giving us that kind of variety. So it is going to be very difficult to create those scoring opportunities.
We did see how they're trying to play Kwekwe United. They're trying to implement a Route 1 football, but it hasn't worked in this game so far. What do they need to change? And your analysis of the first 45 as well, nonetheless.
Yeah, despite the goal, I think there are some moments they've done so well, but going to the third is quite difficult. You know, a lot of back passes, I think is a very seeking point. What they need to do, I think they've implied 2 central defensive midfielders. Of course, you need to pull out one and maybe try to add a little bit forward, because if you see many times Ngoma is alone. He gets the ball, he drops the ball, but he has to come back again. No one is near to at least support, So the distances are far away, and, they need to make it up.
Indeed, as we look at the highlights and how that goal was conceded there, and the idea was the cross from Ringa, they're quite good, and it should have been dealt with much better. Those are some of the chances that Hardrock did create earlier on. But just still on with that, we see, there's a bit of casual, carefree kind of play by Hardrock in this game. It's more of a stroll in the park, and there is not much of urgency. Could this work against them in the second half, or maybe they feel very comfortable with where they are?
No, I think getting the goal in the first minute, I think they needed to add another one just to be comfortable. In essence, we might say they are not ruthless in front of goal. They need to sharpen up and at least utilize all the chances. I think they got about 3-4 more chances after the goal. So in the second half, it might be difficult, especially when Kwekwe United scores. That is going to be a difficult tour for them. I think they also need, Navai is trying by all means going forward and trying to be in the correct positions, but the finishing is quite difficult. They are not making it up, and they need to improve on that one.
Dalu, let's speak about. Let's see what Hardrock needs to do. They're in the lead, they're comfortable, they're quite okay. But sometimes things can slip away from you because one goal from Kwekwe United, they're level. And remember, they can shut shop and pray for the lottery. That is the penalty shootouts.
Yeah, I think they need to make structural changes. If you look at Navaya, he's playing more on the left channel, and he is their main man, so he's supposed to be there at the center of attack. And, a lot of chances are coming there. And you know what? He's a very good striker because he's really bringing those assists, but there's no one to finish. Hence, maybe the absence of Prince Dube giving them a big gap there in terms of attack. Look at how he attacks that channel there and brings in that cross, and hence the goal. So really, giving Shelton Swanda a torrid time. But what is interesting is that combination, that duel between the two of them.
There was an argument that probably the ball was stolen from the keeper's hands, and you did raise his hand, but not quite. Was he slow? Was he taken away from his feet?
No, I think the goalkeeper was slow a little bit. Not 100% with the ball, but when he went down, I think he also missed it. After all, it came off his gloves, and of course it's a free ball, and obviously mistakes have been happening in their game. They need to work. Even if you look in the first minute, they lost the position. One through ball, Jauro failed to clear. At the same time, it goes to the goalkeeper. But, as a team, you don't need to make 3 consecutive mistakes, especially when you want to win a game, such a big game. It's very important for them, and they can do better. They've got that experience at the back. With Jaure, he's been in the Premier League. He also played outside, and he has got that vast experience.
Let's talk about the changes that probably the coach can make from Hardrock. Let's start with Hardrock, the away team now, and look at what he needs to do. Does he need to change, or does he need to just tell his players what to do and how to be ruthless in front of goal? Because we've seen chances that they've created. They've only buried one chance that they got, but the other 3, they've been missed.
Yeah, I think basically structural changes, not necessarily substitutions. If they bring Navaya as the central attacking player, I think they will score a lot of goals because already they are controlling the game. Look, they are opening up the game. They are using the width. In terms of interplay in the middle of the park, they are superior. In terms of physical ability, they are also superior. If you look at the speed in terms of their final third entry, how they penetrate those channels, they are very, very superior as well. But what is missing is the finishing. But, unfortunately, they are looking to go for power in terms of finishing. Look at how Navaya just easily brings in that cross. And, at second attempt, that's when they scored. So they really need to go for precision rather than power. And I think the only person that can do that for them is Navaya.
Indeed. Let's talk about about Kwekwe United. What they need, Jasi. Now, they've got experience in their team, but also they've survived the onslaught of that is Hardrock at the first 45. The second 45 can come, and I'm sure they will try to be very ruthless. That is out because they've got a lot of depth on their bench there, and even pacier players as well. And we know Smelan is also sitting on a yellow card. Is this something that you also be thinking about? But as Hardrock, as Kwekwe United, what can you do?
No, I think, their game is not that bad, despite considering in the first minute, just to remove a little bit of some complacence in their defense line. At the same time, concentrate and pick up a little bit. Going forward, they've tried by all means, but you only find it's only Ngoma alone, Maybe they need to bring in Barnabas, he plays just behind striker, and so that you can have a punch going forward. That will change their game because the ability is there, and also on the right side where there's shelter, I think the crosses are coming in. You just need the numbers in the box, and that alone, is going to be something that they need to look at. And also in midfield, they just need to change a little bit, be positive going forward, and at least they are matching a little bit. They are matching a little bit, I would say, because Munashe Bamara is not really into the game. But, they just need to change in that manner. Bring in Barnabas, who can go forward, and at least he can give you some width. He can give you, I also think he can give you some creativity and also support for Donald Ngoma.
Donald Ngoma, we've seen how he plays and he receives well, but he needs that support, I guess, from that link-up play.
Oh, most definitely. What an exciting player Donald Ngoma is. But I think for me, Takudza is the one who's supposed to be playing more positively. He's getting a lot of possession, but guess what? He goes negatively. So this is why he's putting a lot of pressure on Ngoma. But if he was going to play a bit positive, I think they can get the kind of result that they want. Look at the kind of space that they're always giving, Hardrock in their defensive third. Yes, the mid-block defending it's not really paying dividends for them. They need to be compact because in the center of the park they don't have the numbers. You can only apply mid-block like that if you're going to match them man for man. But if you are always going to have two players, look at the kind of space that they have. No one is really marking them. So I think this is what is causing complacency again on the Hardrock side because they are really playing this game at a pedestrian pace.
Indeed, a pedestrian pace. That's what Hardrock quite been doing in the first 45. Can they do even better in the second 45? That's the biggest question. The last time we had from that is the Colliery Dynamos were trailing by 1-0 against Wange, and Wange being in the lead in the 46th minute. And of course, those are the surprises that we expect such of the tournament. We said that there are going to be some banana skin slips for the Giants, but I'm sure the next 45 years look at the stats as well. And do you see most of the stats favoring that is Hardrock in this instance, Justice?
Yeah, with the level, I think they should be. I know, despite the need to score many goals, but I think they've done a little bit more to show the difference between them and Kwekwe United. Hardrock also just needed to score many goals. These cups, it's all about scoring goals because a draw will take you to the penalty shootouts, and you never know in the penalty shootouts. I think also, they just need to be positive.
Indeed, so we're going to be seeing some changes coming in. Donald Mudadi is going to be coming in, gentlemen. But prediction. I know you hate this, but I have to give you have seen the first 45, so I've given you benefit of, first view.
Yeah, well, I think Hardrock is going to take away this one, especially if they do make those structural changes. Not really disrespecting Kwekwe United, but I think they are not really showing up for this game.
Chelsea.
Yeah, it's for Hardrock. They have got everything. It's just about making many goals. It's their game. They have at least been in the box for so many times. If they continue in the second half, it will give them at least a comfortable, a comfortable lead, especially scoring in the beginning of the second half.
All right, the two teams are back, and let's take you back to our commentary team for live commentary for the second half. As Kwekwe United trail here by 1-0 against Hardrock.
The second half must win for this side, Hardrock FC. They already have a goal that could be enough to see them through. They have created the bulk of the chances between the two sides as they are playing against the home side, that is Kwekwe United. They have 11 attempts, 6 shots on target, and 60% ball possession coming in from the first half. For Kwekwe United, it's 2 attempts, 1 shot on target, 40% in terms of ball possession. So a lot is to be required from Kwekwe United as we are seeing the changes, new additions, Sambolo Simelani stepping off and making way for Wilfred Madzungu. Wilfred, high-scoring individual, must be coming on to add to the numbers. That is the idea coming in from Coach Calvin Kaindu. And Sizwe Kumalo steps off, replaced by Donald Mudadi. Justified changes coming into the second half.
Any chances, and Mudadi also want to get involved in the goal scoring. So positive, especially in a cup game where you always want to give some players a chance. We have not been getting a run, and I think it is Kwekwe United who have not made a change so far, surprisingly, as they're the team that is a goal to no doubt.
And it's the second half, the last 45 minutes of the game, the last chance for Kwekwe United to stay in this knockout tournament. There is a lot at stake. $1 million at the end of the tunnel. That is the light that they are looking at. But it is Hardrock that they have to get past. With Hardrock having an advantage over them, how are they going to fare in this second half? No changes from Kwekwe United, trusting the side that started things off, but 2 for Hardrock as they get away. Now it is Kwekwe United attacking from left to right, then Hardrock from right to left. Will that change? Also bringing the goal. There is somewhat some superstitions with the side of the goal that you are attacking. Maybe they might get a goal or 2. It is Chawanda Stadium, in case you're just joining us. Hardrock in the lead by a single goal to 0. And they are on the attack. Mavuso switching it over to the near side. Back again to Bamara. And Martin Mapisa knowing exactly what he is doing.
Yeah, probably the second time that was in here, Takwara and Mapisa probably not in sync in terms of the communication. And that time around, Takwara telling Mapisa to stay on his line, because he was probably going to head it back to the goalkeeper who had already left his line. And just a moment, the two were trying to settle things out.
Second conversation. Trying to introduce one of the latest players, but Patson Jaure flatting the ball far away. But it was an opportunity for maybe Donald Mudadi as a new addition to get a feel of the ball, and now it goes out for a corner.
Yeah, Jauri probably a little bit frustrated, the captain, with how things have been going. But he has to be the man to calm things down, doesn't he?
Has to be the man. Also part of the clearing team to make sure the lines are safe and clean. Chimoa trying to get to the ball, and a misplaced pass coming in a little bit too hard. That one. There's Muringai assessing the options, playing it to Washington. Navaya has been enjoying himself last season. Soccer Star of the Year, top goal scorer with 17 goals in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League. He's hoping that the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup could be another playground of his, as he's dominating as well in Hardrock colors coming from Taiwan. It's another movement that could be deadly. Donald Mudadi first touches on the ball and already dancing around with the ball. Almost on target. The goalkeeper Jabangwe getting a hand to the ball. It shows you the intention is still there. There's still one more goal.
Yeah, Jabangwe probably injured in that attempt to get a hand on the ball, straightening himself. But Mudadi, creative, yeah, setting his players up and setting it up there just on the edge of the box. Jabangwe, I don't think he had anything on it at the end. Probably injured in that attempt to save his goal that time around.
An attempt by Flamini, the goal scorer. It was inches away from the side post, but enough to bring a scare to Jabangwe, so that he had to invest himself to that extent. Now getting some assistance, medical assistance, but you look at those attempts, we've been kind of having the conversation with the fourth official there. There is a smile on his face. It tells you a lot about his viewpoint, his point of view. That lead might be enough for them.
Yeah, probably it will be much more comfortable if his team is able to get quickly a second goal, and those fans will be expecting exactly that early in the second half, just as they did in the first.
More goals to add to that tally. Talking about, there's that delivery. And straight to the penalty spot, as we are taking a breather there, getting a feel of the fans. Action resumed, and a challenge in the box. 2 seconds for the center referee Rosario to decide, and their hands outstretched right to the penalty spot.
Yeah, the Kwekwe United fans not quite happy with that decision. It's just seeing the replay there. I think there was a kick out from the Kwekwe United player. I think that will be Messi. And not quite clear on the contract, but definitely something there. I think it was Messi Kushero who was found guilty there. And the referee taking his time though, but giving the penalty and a chance for Hardrock to end the second year.
Yeah, with the assistant referee behind the corner of the box, you know, it has been approved by the two. They're in agreement, and they give the man Washington Navaya the chance to get his name on that score sheet. But not convinced as of yet, this Kwekwe United side, as to how that decision was made. But the penalty has been given. Washington Navaya, a second to think, and off the side post. It stays at a 1-0 lead for Hardrock. It could have been 2, but thankful to the football gods is Jabangwe. Reluctant, it could have been something. Takes his time, and then the strike. No better player. You would have wanted to give that one to Sandra Navaya. Almost getting it in, but serving Jabangwe. His smiles there and his blushes going the right way, but he was beaten, Jabangwe. But glad to see the ball hitting the post, and Navaya quite surprised how that did not go into the back of the net. And they're just surviving here, Kwekwe United, still in the game, and it still remains 1-0. It still remains 1-0. What a moment. Washington Navaya in disbelief, and I know the fans as well, knowing the caliber of a player that he is, how clinical in front of goal he is, to miss a penalty. Quite shocking, but it has happened. And Kwekwe United, with a bit of confidence from that missed penalty, you can see with the way that they are moving at this moment. A challenge to Ian Nyoni and the yellow card to the captain Muringai Tunotenda. Yeah, quite surprising, because looking at the first assistant, he didn't raise his flag, and that was the Moroiwa, but it was the referee Tabani Rosario who saw it all happening. I think the first assistant was quite closer to the exit, and definitely you can see that just a little bit of a hand to him, but no pull there to deserve a yellow card. And I don't think the referee got it right that time around. It happens. Probably that's why the first assistant kept his flag down, Sandra. Well, maybe that communication between the two, they could have looked at it. Maybe there would have been a revisit to the decision by the central referee to give the yellow card to Muringai. But it's an opportunity. And a free kick taken, had taken flight off the feet of Shelton Sibanda. Now Hardrock pushing the numbers forward, trying to involve Wilfred Madzungu, one goal-scoring machine for this side in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League. He is on a very good, solid number 7. He's got 7 goals for Hardrock, the Premier Soccer League, so they trust his ability to find the back of the net offside for Washington Navaya. Yeah, probably the thought of missing the penalties too and easy at Navaya. And I think Tendai Chikuni was quite glad to see that one hit in the post. And because the bench really was not convinced that there was a penalty. They're still remaining in the game and still have some time here to get back in it, but we haven't really seen much for them in the second half. I think it has all been Hardrock who've been dominant again, and I think time will start slowly to tick away for Kwekwe United now. Time, always an enemy if you are at a disadvantage, and that's the point of view for Kwekwe United. A game that they would have hoped to go in a different direction. It's that switch to this near side. But Shelton Sibanda had different ideas, meeting with his goalkeeper. But now another challenge coming down in the box, nothing there for Washington. Navaya. They played from the back. Now a bit of composure coming in from this side, although not utilizing. Flag gone up. That's a free kick for Kwekwe. Shepherd Chawanda is watching, anxious, like you said, that 1-0 or that one goal lead is not enough. There's a replay. There was a pulling.
Yeah, clear pull the time around. I think that is a little bit quite clear. And another opportunity here for Pastor Jauri, who's probably looking like he's lining up to put in the cross. They have to start to make this count, Sandra. Cannot emphasize this more. This has been what they've been getting. So you have to make use of what you get in a game.
Yeah, starting to sound like a broken record. But Jaure Hudson chooses to go at it alone. But could have done better, obviously. Not good enough from the captain.
Yeah, could have done better. You can actually see Jonathan Goma with his hands up in the sky, wondering why Jauri decided to go for goal from such a distance.
If you haven't done it during the training sessions, don't do it here. But here's a player who knows exactly what he has been training for. Chimoa, the far side, getting the ball, keeping it in play, and a knock from behind to slow him down in his tracks. A lot of conversations in the stands as well. If you're watching this wonderful game, those are Kwekwe United fans. You can tell by the blue. That is the dominant color even on their logo, so it's not that difficult to single them out. So we get a replay.
Yeah, didn't got to quite see there on the replay, Sandra. But I think he just caught him. He was watching the ball and he couldn't see the player coming from behind. And definitely got the contact on him. And that's why the referee went on to blow for the penalty.
Ian Yoni went after the ball. He was in charge of that battle, trying to get past one or two defenders. They've gotten themselves a corner, which they would appreciate, but they need to start stepping up and take advantage of these opportunities. The defensive backline from Hardrock has been quite good and solid. Set pieces are the way to go. Delivered, but the execution there in terms of going for it is good enough. Jonathan Goma, he is also the man that we continuously talk about.
Yeah, Jonathan Goma getting that chance and the ball that he would have wanted to get that time around. Perfect delivery for him, but just not getting his angles right there, and the ball getting off his head and heading to a different direction and not aim to go. I think you would know that that was a decent opportunity for him, especially with the height that he has, the height advantage as well. And those are the chances that Kwekwe United have to take.
Chances, opportunities. It's a song that continuously sing for this Kwekwe side. Can they do something productive with it? Madadi, good little back pass to get to Dlamini. Trying a through pass for Navaya. Still in the danger zone. Wilfred Madzungu and the follow-up. Trying to get to the ball. But it's back. The veteran, Gerald Takwara. Trying to move forward once again. A slow bit of a step back in this game. The intensity that the second half started with sort of being absorbed. Talking about tournament football, it is very exciting too. And there's another opportunity for this side. They try to move forward. Now Muringai, as what the scores look like at this moment. Hardrock, that one goal in the first minute by Flamini, it has kept them alive, and it has been a safety cushion for them. Kwekwe United still to give a bit befitting response. Mavuso to Washington Navaya, and blocked in its track. To some extent, there's a difference in terms of the feel of the game from the first half. Mostly one-sided, but this time around, good competition. Out of possession mentality for Kwekwe United has been good. Recovering it as quickly as they are losing the ball, but that ability to maintain possession has been the difficult part for Kwekwe. Daddy. Once again. Now it's a calculated step that they are hoping to make in this one. You look at the first half, the chances that they've been able to create a lot, 11, and only one goal to show for it. Moments where they could have scored. Good little pass to just find Navaya there. Now Mudadi, Dlamini, Nellisworth, through pass, cleared off by Jumoa.
Yeah, Hardrock doing exactly what they have to be doing now, which is controlling the possession and also trying to get a second.
Missed penalty. It could have been 2. But now they have to make sure that how they attempt is perfect and good. Some of our beloved youngsters, I'm pretty sure they might have registered even in schools, the junior leagues, under 14 and under 16. They are participating nationwide, about 700 games for junior players. So that is quite good. As we're seeing Kwekwe United in the front row seat. Sibanda, Shelton, unable to get it past Muringai. And now Norman's ball at the moment. Vaya playing it back. It's brought into space. Mazungu disappointed. The first touch not good enough.
Yeah, not good enough for Mazungu, just losing possession there, unfortunately. And you can just sense from the fans that they still believe that it's still a little bit more tense here. Hardrock definitely would want to get a second or even a third, just to put a little bit of comfort between them and Kwekwe United. And the fact that Navaya missing the penalty keeps Kwekwe in the game. There's still plenty of time here for them to make an impact.
Probing for an equalizer and hoping for the best if they have to go as far as a penalty shootout.
Yeah, probably one thing that there's players who still have in the back of their minds, but it's always a little bit intimidating stepping in to take those dreaded penalties, Sandra. And I think Hardrock would not want to leave it to get to that moment. And you're just seeing a good cross in the box. Donald Goma. I thought there was a dream opportunity for him to get the equalizer for Kwekwe. Did get some contact, but probably not being able to get the direction that he would have loved towards the goal there, and at least challenge Martin Mapisa.
Ian Yoni with that delivery from the corner. It could have changed the story here. That's the beauty of the tournament, the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup. It brings everyone from each and every division, provincial, Division 2, Division 1, and the Premier League. There's an attempt from a distance. not getting what he wanted. Tyler Mugoniwa. There's a change for Hardrock as Bamara Monashe stepping off. And making way for Nigel Martina. So the changes keep on coming for Hardrock. They have an opportunity to play around and experiment, especially in this game.
Yep, that being Babara, you all know how he is the conductor or the commander in that midfield for Hardrock. And getting an early rest in the second half here. Haven't really seen much of him because he hasn't really been called to action as well. And I think Kevin Kainto making those chances, just hoping that he won't be able to look for those guys when the time comes, when he has sent them to the bench.
Yeah, the coach's job, always a 50-50 chance. You can bring on a player who brings a positive impact, or it could be a disaster in the end. But you look at the caliber of players that Hardrock have been able to bring on their bench, none lacking in terms of that experience and that quality in terms of playing the beautiful game. A bit of that passing game, slow things out, make sure they get Kwekwe to move up their line. There's another opportunity, chest control. Mavuso, he could have gotten a second for his side. Was in a good position to receive the ball. Quite unfortunate. Not enough space for him to be creative. Jaure Patson in a battle with Lamini. And it's all about supporting each other on that far side. It's a free kick for Kwekwe, which they will warmly welcome this development. Any opportunity to get possession, move forward, they will take it with both hands. It is their first meeting, despite both of them coming in from the central region. What an attempt! What an attempt! And it is Messi Gushero, powerful, strong. Martin Mapisa didn't see that coming.
Oh my word. That could have been a cracker of a goal from Gushero Messi. Just taking it upon himself to get the strike off his boots and striking it so cleanly. It could have been a wonderful goal for them. My word, that deserved to be a goal, Sandra. And what a way it could have been for Kwekwe United to get back in this game. Just that gives you an idea of how so close this game remains, as long as it remains 1-0.
Yeah, indeed. The spirit of the game, in terms of getting that quality, would have wanted that to be a goal, but it missed the target. And a bit of conversation there is Hardrock get a free kick in a very good position, and some of the fans, the conversations continue. That's why it's always beautiful to come through and watch these games with others. There's that replay, powerful strike by Messi Gushero.
Yeah, Martin Mapisa was beaten the time around, all hands up. I don't think he was going to get anything of that. What a warning shot to Hardrock.
Yeah, and there's a free kick, good one, placed nicely. The goalkeeper chooses to just parry it away, but not far from danger. Donald Mudadi going for a second, not good enough. But that is the type of quality that you would want. To look at how Kwekwe United have been getting the set piece plays and how they haven't been able to cause a disruption in that back line for Hardrock. But there's another one. It's all about getting it back to Mapisa Gushero. He's going after the ball, being a different mentality to push forward is what they have. Gushero once again choosing to play it back. Navaya allowing it to just passing by. It was coming in from an offside position. They collect, they have possession, glimpses of hope for this Kwekwe United side.
Yeah, it seems like there's just been a switch in their minds to start going for it now. And they've kept themselves in the game, limiting the goals from Hardrock. And now they know that it's probably time that they try and get an equalizer.
Yeah, the moment that you see teammates bumping into each other, trying to recover the ball, it says a lot. Indeed, there is a switch in this Kwekwe United side. 70 minutes played. They are trailing by a single goal. They would like to find an equalizer, hope for the best in a penalty shootout, or maybe get two while they're at it. That would come as a punishment for this Hardrock side.
Yeah, and you never rule that out, Sandra. In these cup games, there will always be surprises. And Kelvin Kaento moving a little bit nervously now on the touchline, knowing exactly that his team could have been more than a goal up.
A good little back pass, and now Chimoa trying to get to the ball in that battle against Ramek. That could have been sweet. Ian Yoni stepping up as well. So it's now everyone has gotten the invitation to the party. An understanding of what's at stake. Munhumutapa Challenge Cup, the first edition, launched this year, and the competition has just begun. At the Chibuku, for teams like Hardrock are set to play against Bulawayo Chiefs in the first round of the Chibuku Super Cup games. But an opportunity still there. Donald Ngoma getting them a free kick. Grab it with both hands, they say. That seems to be the... there's that replay. Dlamini being the culprit on this one.
Yeah, good play and good work rate from Jordan Goma, going off his positions to try and recover the ball, really. Try to make something for himself. And he has been able to win the set pieces in good area. Just looking for a good delivery from the likes of Jaure now.
Jaure, with the experience that he has, obviously would hope for the best. And now it's that conversation. Gerald Takwara, Martin Mapisa. Will it be enough to disrupt that back line? This two needs to get to an understanding. Now there is a pointing of fingers. Ngwenya also being brought into the conversation. That back line for Hardrock, it might be their downfall if Kwekwe United are able to take advantage of this misunderstanding in the back.
Yeah, they've not been able to communicate well. Takwara that time around, telling Mapisa that it was his ball that he was supposed to come off the line to get. Mapisa remembering that the last time he did, Takwara was also shouting at him, so probably caught in between the thoughts there, Martin Mapisa. And you can definitely see the argument there between the goalkeeper and Gerald Takwara. And the nervy moments now, the pressure now on Hardrock, with a few minutes remaining for them to continue hanging on.
Emotions might be the downfall for this side. But Wilfred Mazungu, his involvement, most certainly important if they want to get more goals. We're seeing more Hardrock fans. That regalia, the stripes, what a signature. Now it's yellow and green in this encounter. Ngwenya getting to the ball, moving forward. Mringai, Washington Navaya leaving that one, and Chipo Munyaradzi. So we're about to see a double substitution from Kwekwe United. Everyone getting a feel of the game moving forward. Will it be allowed in time before the corner kick is taken? And also there is some assistance for a player who's down in the field. That is off camera. But they're setting up the lines there. Jabangwe
Sandra, now it's becoming exactly what a cup game is. Now the 15 minutes, almost just 15, plus of course what the fourth official add on to it. A bit nervous towards the end here for Hardrock because they couldn't convert those chances. And now Kwekwe United still think that they do have a chance back in the game. And if they can get an equalizer, what an ending we'll have to this game.
Yeah, what an ending that would be. Maputo unable to do exactly what he wanted to do, and quickly stored back into play by Tabangwe on that left side. Dispossessed in the process, Truda Majao. It's been a Hardrock story so far, with some of the new additions hoping to be added on. A challenge too hard too soon coming in, being the second best. Hand to the pocket. The yellow card for Rick Otter for that challenge. So a lot is happening. You look away for 2 seconds, and there's a booking. But deep conversations on the Kwekwe United technical bench as we get a replay.
Yeah, sliding through the a little bit reckless in that challenge, and definitely a yellow there. Now making the changes, Kwekwe United, knowing exactly the amount of minutes that they have to make an impact this afternoon. I think the instructions will be clear. Get the equalizer to whoever was coming through.
Yeah, and that's Enoch Moyo stepping on. Nyoni and Jaure might be stepping off, and also Johan Sibanda, a man who has had 7 goals to his name, and majority of those goals have come in after he comes off the bench. So this is a tactical move, keep him fresh long enough until he gets the opportunity. We're going to be seeing Ngoma being brought down there. The idea is to feed the ball to Johan Sibanda, a man who's on 7 goals. He has been scoring even in their last game against MSU, a game that they won by 2-0. And another booking, like I said. Close your eyes, open them again. There is a yellow card. See some of those replays for that penalty that was missed by Washington Navaya, coming off the side post and unable to recover in time. That is the situation. That is a moment that is not going to forget in a very long time. Washington Navaya, but some of the action was ongoing offside call.
Yeah, that could have been a moment that could have changed this game, Sandra, for 2 reasons. The penalty and also the miss. I think if Navaya had slotted that home, it could have been a little bit much more comfortable for Hardrock.
Time slowly trickling away for this Kwekwe United side. They came with hopes, dreams and beliefs. Are they just going to sit it out and allow Hardrock to get the bragging rights, a spot in the round of 16, a chance to participate in the CAF Confederation Cup? Washington Navaya, just not his day today, but brilliant performer he is. But Mashairan told to hold on a bit as we seeing some of those yellow cards coming in, and opportunity. Here's another replay of that missed opportunity as he is subbed off. It is the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup, and anything can happen. Could have been goal as well. Mashairan is stepping off to replace Navaya. It was an opportunity that could have found its way to the back of the net.
Yeah, Jabang with the busiest of the 11 for Kwekwe. Yes, really put in a shift here. Now starting to feel a little bit of what comes with their hard work. And probably also trying to calm things a little bit down here. But they only have 10 minutes. I think you will definitely have that in his mind. But Navaya, as we just see himself, Sandra, has been prolific here for Hardrock. And that penalty miss, I'm sure, won't deter him from trying to get his tally going in this Munhumutapa Cup. And that is only if Hardrock can make it through to the next rounds.
Yeah, that is if they can make it through. Jabangwe getting a breather there with 9 minutes and a few seconds to go. And it is cleared off quite nicely by Kwekwe, but not yet far. Missing a touch to the ball, but it could have been a second goal for Hardrock, as now Kwekwe United on the move for a counter. That's how it's looking. After 81 minutes, Kwekwe United 0, Hardrock 1. Dlamini Nelithwa scoring in the first minute. There's a replay. Header, Matungu failing to get a touch.
Yeah, probably a miscue if anything here. And that could have been the ball to bring comfort to Hardrock, and also that impressive save from Jabangwe that time around, just tipping it over the bar. Still means that Kwekwe United in these last few minutes will try to go for it and go for Brock and throw everything that they have at Hardrock here.
Everything that they have in the kitchen they need. Just throw it of some vuvuzelas from the kids and a bit of applause as well. They're enjoying themselves here at Chawanda Stadium. Muringai squares it in. No good connection once again. Matungu having a difficult time, but what a play. You look at Muringai leading the pack, obviously, wearing the captain's armband, doing the hard work, squares it in. Just needed someone to redirect it into the back of the net, but it just didn't happen. Jinxed to only end at a 1 goal. Here's that replay.
Yeah, good work again from Jabangwe. Just distracting the striker there from getting a foot on the ball. But Muringai, rather, how good has he been, Sandra? In the first half, we're seeing him overlapping again, and he's doing exactly that, trying to find the killer ball for Hardrock and to settle this game. But still, they survive, and Jabangwe probably has to take some credit for that. And well, probably the commentator's case, is it?
Yeah, indeed, but for Muringai, you were right. And one word to describe what he has been able to do today: consistency. He has been consistent from the first half, getting into the second half, always trying to feed that ball into the box. Sibanda being brought down, getting a throw in, and now not so calm for Kelvin Kaindu.
Yeah, he knows exactly how it feels and how it can be with all his experience that he has. When you leave it at a single goal to nil, there's always a chance that a team on the other side can make you pay and probably leave you in some tears.
Fatson Chaure delivers. Muringai heading it back. Collected by Martin Mapisa. Has enjoyed himself apart from that those misunderstandings with Gerald Takwara in the back. There's pretty much nothing to talk about Martin Mapisa in this game.
Yeah, it looks like they've settled their issues now and become the best of friends with Takwara. Just trying to get the communication right there in the back.
It was important. Delivered forward. Wilfred Matungu able to get it. Lift, and the final delivery attempt on goal by Tinashe Mashaireni. Lofted over the crossbar. And new addition, fresh legs. Could have been calm enough. Wilfred Matungu playing it back. And there's a collection. Jabangwe was beat already.
Yeah, Mashaireni could have just settled this game here, Sandra. But Jabangwe doing well as well to come off his line and get something on it. So Mashairani with the goalkeeper on the ground, probably was looking for the composure to just keep it low and get the second for Hardrock.
Musena coming in place of Donald Ngoma. Has done his bit in this game, trying all he can. 7 goals for Kwekwe, but not one today. But Hardrock, another challenge, emphatic. You can feel it even from where we are sitting, that they are bringing the press, they are bringing the firepower straight to Kwekwe. They want that second goal. 4 minutes and about 12 seconds to go till the normal regulated 90 minutes, and they now know there is a lot to lose, but you can go away with a big win. There's another one, gets across into the box, but cleared back again where it started, and it is Mashaireni once again. Tinashe not so lucky in front of goal, but he's getting into those right places where you can create something, but not so lucky that final execution.
Yeah, lucky the finish, Mashairani. And again, this time around, I think it could have been better suited going with the left foot. Decided to go with the outside of his right foot. I think that's why that ball just couldn't get to direct into the goal there. And not an easy chance for him. But still, again, Kwekwe United do survive. Jabangwe also previously making a crucial save to keep the team in the game.
Survival mode for Kwekwe United. All they need is an equalizer. That equalizer could take them to a penalty shootout, and that could bring them back into the game. Chipo Munyaradzi standing behind the ball. They take that free kick. Everything is now important, and it's in this moment where slip-ups could happen, and the tables can shift and change. Takwara with a long clearance. I think it had gone out of play, but it's still in. Cannot afford to waste time.
Yeah, I think we would have thought that Kwekwe should have been the one attacking Sandra. I think the one thing that Hardrock have done well is to keep a little bit of control in the game.
A bit of control, and we're seeing the owners of the club, members, board members as well, for this Hardrock side, just enjoying the game. That's one goal, the opening minute might just be it, but they still want more, hungry for more, and unable to get it under control and beat the marker. And it goes out of play, goes out for a goal kick. But they are trying.
Well, that time around probably should have been crossing it a little bit earlier. When the players lining up in the box, expecting a cross to come through.
Colton Sibanda was the man that was intended for the ball, and we get a replay. That first goal by Dlamini, shocking, seconds into the game, and already they found their way to the back of the net. Why need a moment to settle yourself into the game? But Hardrock had other ideas. Maybe it's an understanding that Kwekwe United are not an easy side to score against, especially with a goalkeeper like Jabangwe, who's been really good for this side.
Yeah, Jabangwe the time around as well, feeling that probably Dlamini took the ball away from his grip. But that first minute, we thought there were so many other goals coming through with how that first half started. But unfortunately, it hasn't been. And it's still that single goal from Dlamini separating these two teams. As we're just tickling down towards the 90 now.
Counting down the seconds, 4 seconds to go of the regulated 90 minutes. It is the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup. And it's only a minute added on in this game. So a lot at stake for Kwekwe United. Can they find an equalizer? Jabangwe plays it forward, but already possession taken away. Shelton Sibanda stepping on to save this side. Played on, attempt on target, not powerful enough for Martin Mapisa. It's nothing he can handle.
Yeah, a regulation case that time around for Mapisa, really not what you want to see. And the Hardrock fans up in celebration, hearing that it's only 1 minute. But the Kwekwe United fans feeling undone by the referee. They probably thought that the fourth official rather could have added a little bit more, but not really much. But we did see those incidents, Sandra, which probably I would have thought 3 minutes could have been, the correct at the time, man.
Yeah, shocking. But it's the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup round of 32. A place in the round of 16 is what is awaiting this Hardrock side with the green and yellow stripes. They might be finding their way, qualifying for the round of 16. Competitively, the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup bring on that opportunity for teams even in the lower divisions to play, and that's the final whistle blown, and Hardrock, they find their way into the round of 16. A game satisfying to the taste buds. If it were a meal, quite exciting. The first goal coming in at the first minute from Nelitwa Dlamini. What a game we've had. Shocking in terms of the end result. Take us through how it panned out from the first minute.
Yeah, wonderful game of football, Sandra. Probably it is the goals that we're expecting that didn't come. But in terms of the play, it has been brilliant. Hardrock could have scored more than one. And Kwekwe United just feel like they were slow to get into the game. And they had their moments, but not enough to reach in the back four for Hardrock and to make an impact. And we did see them attempting those strikes from range. And it wasn't to be. And it will be Hardrock will be marching through to the next round. I would say it's a well-deserved win for them. But Coach Kelvin Kaindo will know that his team could have done better. But either the way, in a cup competition, it is about the end result, and they've been able to get that.
Yeah, defense and taking it slowly wins you leagues. But when it comes to knockout football, it is the goals that counts, whether it is during play or it is from the penalties. But what a game we've had. Nelithwa Dlamini is scoring in the opening minute of the game to give Hardrock that lead. And they were able to maintain it, not defending necessarily, but attacking time and time again, hoping to get a second goal, which didn't count. And Washington Navaya missing a penalty in the second half. That could have made it 2 goals for this side, Hardrock, and would have been a proper win for them. But not taking away anything from them, that single goal has given them that ticket into the round of 16. It is the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup, and this is what it is all about, the celebrations by the fans, adding more and more. You've got your leagues, you've got the Chibuku Super Cup, you've got the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup, and it's for these sides and these views where you can see the fans celebrating and knowing that their side is doing well. It was a Midlands derby, teams brimming and coming from the Central Region Division 1 Soccer League, and they were fighting it out. First time meeting between these two sides, and Hardrock stepped out to be the better side, getting a place in the round of 16 and also the bragging rights. So we are switching over for a conversation with the coaches. So it ends Hardrock 1, Kwekwe United 0.
Indeed, what a game, what a match this has been. And of course, it's Hardrock who are going to the round of 16 in the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup 2026. An exciting game, thrills and spills, and of course, just a solitary goal that was scored within the first 42 seconds of the game. And it's given, that is Hardrock the victory this afternoon. And we shall be getting to hear from the coach, from the losing coach, Mr. Chikuri. Coach, your overall assessment of the first of the 90 minutes and how your team played this afternoon.
I need to congratulate my team. I think we did everything which we can. The guys, they played according to instruction.
And let's talk about you conceding in the first 42 minutes. I'm sure that's something you didn't want, but you came back good and contained them in the other half of the second half.
Yeah, if you look at it, if you could have not considered that goal, the game could have gone another way around. Because our game plan, I think it works very well. But luckily, they get a goal in the first minute.
All right, coach, tough one, but you have a safe trip back home.
Thank you so much.
All right, that was the coach Tendai Chikuri that is Kwekwe United, and in a few moments' time I shall be joined by Kevin Kayundu, the triumphant coach for Hardrock as they progress to the round of 16 in the Munhumutapa Challenge Cup. And of course, he's here. Coach, congratulations. It takes you to the round of 16, but overall, how do you view and explain the 90 minutes of the whole game for you?
Yeah, a very difficult game. It's a derby. We didn't show the intensity that we have done in the past with all the games that we played. We looked a bit stiff. It's not the Hardrock that we know. We couldn't maintain possession. Maybe the only good thing that we did is we scored an early goal. But after that, I think we put the pedal down. We had to make some substitution at halftime to bring in new guys. Slight change also in the second half, but not much. Created a number of chances that we could have capitalized. We also missed from a penalty. But in a derby, what do you expect? What is good is we have progressed.
Indeed, and coach, congratulations, and we certainly wish you all the best in the round of 16 draw as well.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is the Hardrock coach, Kevin Kayundu, triumphant this afternoon. And of course, I shall be having my two match analysts, that is Justice Machavi as well as Talubu Pepe as well, as they give us their take of the 90 that we've witnessed here. And we did see how the Hardrock played, they did make changes. The coach laments that, yes, they were not really in control of the game, but they were lucky that they scored early on in the game.
Well, I think they did control the game. I think their problem was in the final third. There wasn't a lot of creativity, and most of the things that they were doing were quite predictable. And I think the taking off of Navaya as well had a telling effect on the creativity. But in terms of the midfield, yes, they lost it in the second half because Donald Mudadi, Donald Ngoma, we really saw him winning all aerial balls and really coming deep to collect them. So yes, Kwekwe United played a bit better in the second half, but I still feel Hardrock had that kind of a control.
Indeed, Jesse, derbies are not always easy and straightforward like that. And that's what we witnessed. We thought in the first 10 minutes of the game, Hardrock were just going to steamroll past the Kwekwe United, but it wasn't to be.
Oh, it wasn't. I think the only chance which came early in the first minute, that's when they utilized. But later on, it was all misses, and at the same time, Hardrock missed the penalty with Washington Navaya. But I think also in the second half, Kwekwe United did very well. They came in showing some agents and going forward and some creativity, a little bit of it, but not really much in terms of support on Donald Ngoma. Otherwise, with the Barnabas Mchunje inside, and I think it would have helped them, especially in the attacking third.
Indeed, and let's talk going forward with the changes that he made and the lack of intensity that he wanted. He said, to borrow Kevin Kayundu's words, he says they were a bit stiff today. It wasn't the Hardrock that they're used to.
Yeah, well, in terms of functional movement, they did a lot of changes of direction in the first half, and most likely I think they need to track their high-intensity training, because we saw the second half really, stepping out the energy from them. But I think they needed to control the game better. You don't go with high intensity. If you look at the stats, a bit better now for Kwekwe United in the second half. But all the same, I think Hardrock really had the upper end.
Just you look at those stats and you see the attempts made by, that is Hardrock, 20 of them and 7 on target. Nonetheless, and there are only 7 attempts for, that is Kwekwe United this afternoon and 3 on target. And the ball possession, well, obviously dominated by Hardrock there. And also the most important stat there being that one at the bottom, that is the new one scoreline.
Yeah, I think, Hardrock in the first half they did so much. In the second half also, their coach spoke about the stiffness. I think in so many games as they are accumulating, and at the same time, these cup games, they are difficult, and they played against a Division 1 team. There is a lot of running, no spaces, and of course, it drains a lot. Some players, they get tired easily, and you could see the game itself, but altogether, I think it was second half belonged to Kwekwe United, although they were just from the back and towards the middle of the park, but finishing and in the third it was difficult. Only save for Ngoma, who has tried his best, but at the same time, as a coach, I think they need to look forward to so many to their games coming up in the league, and it's very important so that this game can carry them to the next stage.
Indeed, and let's look at some of those highlights. And basically, Hardrock dominated most of those because of the number of attempts that they did have today. And 7 of those 20 attempts were on target that they did this afternoon. But they lacked precision in front of goal, and there wasn't that intensity, that urgency as well. Is it because maybe they were really in control at times?
Yeah, our favorite young player, Messi, really striking that ball very hard, and it is the only shot at goal that he did, but it was quite an immaculate one. But I think our league as a whole really lacks that kind of creativity in the final third. We have strikers who are opting for power ahead of precision, and look, it is better to really look at that shot there. Yes, and Chavangwe living up to the task, and he was very key in the second half. I think he played very well. His distribution was a bit better. I think the nerves, he really took care of them in the first half. So yeah, it's just unfortunate that they lose this one, but I think they played better in the second half.
Indeed, we look at Donald Mudadi there, 10 players are still the dawn. They're passing it, but they couldn't finish again. That was the story of the day. They couldn't just put it past them. That is Jabangwe for the second time, third time or fourth time. But we also see another chance they created, a missed opportunity. They didn't arrive on time as well to just slide it in. And there was their desperate slide, but he couldn't get there as well. But good play from Ringani, nonetheless, before he even got the yellow card as well. But he always are standing a very consistent player, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Muringai is doing very well. A captain, a leader. He's done so much on the left side, and obviously in those positions he needed to be there. And in modern day football, I think all the fullbacks, they need to go up, and they also need to create the width, bring in some crosses. Look at that ball, it's a marvelous one. Unfortunately, Mazungu didn't reach it, but it was a good ball.
Indeed, and some of those attempts are there, but it was a better performance from that is Kwekwe United in the second half, a bit organized, a bit of urgency, and Mese Karangasha as well waking up to the occasion.
Yeah, they did rise up to the occasion. I think their biggest mistake in the first half was to give Hardrock a lot of respect. Because if they had missed them in the midfield, I think they were going to be able to get that goal. And the biggest mistake for me, I don't understand why Donald was taken out. Only 3 minutes to go. And look, he had the aerial presence. He was winning almost every other ball in the air. Now replacing him with Musena, who's a short guy, I really didn't understand the tactics there from the technical team of Kwekwe United. But probably they thought he was tired, but you know what, it was only 3 minutes left, so he could have played through the 3 or 4 minutes.
And just, he was their target man. He was winning everything, doing everything, was working hard. Is it because maybe they thought he was tired, but there was only maybe 3-4 minutes of play remaining, and you take out your point man or your target man up front, and you've lost the plot, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just a matter of substituting, I think they just needed to make it that substitution. But for me, he was the better man on the field for Kwekwe United.
Could have been the man of the match, isn't it?
Obviously, for me, he won, he dribbled, and he created also for himself, and obviously you just needed someone closer to him who could even just create.
And of course, there was the argument about the penalty. There, some arguing too soft it was, and some already saying poetic justice happened when that penalty was missed in that instance by the navigator, the most reliable and prolific striker.
Yeah, I think he was under pressure to score there, maybe thinking that he really wants to be the top goal scorer. But look, whether we say it was soft or we say it was a hard penalty, it was a penalty and it was missed. Yeah. But for Kwekwe United, I think they're supposed to carry themselves, with their heads high. They did very well. The goal they didn't really come, but for Donald, easily could have been the man of the match. But also, funny enough, the most fouled player in this game today. This shows you how he has that kind of aerial presence. I really wonder if Premier League teams were watching this game, because most of them don't have that kind of a player.
Indeed, and of course, it still has that great potential. And of course, some big news for you, Jesse. Just to speak here, your former club, Dynamos, booted out. And we spoke about, the banana skin slips that usually happen in this game. Dynamos out of the tournament, booted out by a first division side in the southern region, Hwange, at the colliery. It's always a difficult place for Dynamos. I know you played there as well back in the day.
Yeah, I know. It in most cases, there are results where you expect them. I think it wasn't an obvious win for Dynamos over there. It was going to be difficult, and if you look at on record, Dynamos against Hwange has been always a big problem for Dynamos. So I'm not really surprised, and I think also it's their game. They played at home, Hwange. They needed this, and obviously, they're trying to look into a happy community, So beating Dynamos it shows a lot for them, and they just kept on the history, And of course, it's not an easy result to accept, but obviously we all know the results before. Yeah, in not so many occasions Dynamos would win against Hwange.
Dalo, another one bites the dust. That is Moors, beaten, of course, by Herentals. There was also in all Premier League, clash there, but it was Moors at home, and people surprised. Now they've had an indifferent season.
Yes, Moors actually picking up a bit late, but picking up nonetheless. And you know what? Wanky is a very dangerous territory for both Dynamos and Highlanders. So I'm not really shocked by the result as well. But for Moors, I think they did very well for them to progress in this cup. Remember, this is a cup of dreams. So you have to dream all the time. And for a first division team to knock out a big side like Dynamos, I think the dream lives on.
Indeed, the dream does live in. And of course, those are some of the results from today. Bulawayo Chiefs winning. Bulawayo Chiefs are winning by 1-0 against Agama then, and that would be another team to watch because they're good giant killers. Bulawayo Chiefs always make it difficult as well. And let's talk about tomorrow's game as well. That we'll be covering right here on ZBC TV. That's the matchup between Chicken Inn and it's another Premiership derby, as well as they're taking against the Platinum Stars as well.
Yeah, very difficult one, Baba. Very difficult one.
That's your former side as well.
Yeah, this is why I'm a bit skeptical about that fixture. And you know what is quite tricky is Faraita Wachera is the assistant coach at Ngezi Platinum and is a former coach of Chicken Inn. So it's going to be a difficult one, but an exciting one. No 0-0 draw. Tomorrow we have to have a winner. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we will get a winner in the run of play. Penalty shootouts are nerve-wracking.
But we all love the drama that the tournament will bring, and the drama has already begun, and it has begun at the colliery with Dynamos being booted out of the tournament, and so many giants will fall along the way. Big surprises, the thrills and spills, and we'll definitely be bringing them to you right here on ZBC TV, and we'll make sure we follow all the games, and also the ladies' side as well. Big games that today we watched Kwekwe Queens winning as well for Kwekwe. That's a bit of comfort for Kwekwe United today.
Yeah, I think it's important. At least they've got a win, on the ladies' side, but very, very, very important. It's been a fantastic day. A football day in the Midlands, and I hope it continues to be like this. It's always positive, and always you give the community something to cheer towards your spare times. And of course, I hope these teams, and especially Kwekwe United, the men's side, they will do well in the Division 1 and get promoted in the next season, so that they can create their own Midlands derby, especially the Kwekwe derby. It will be interesting. Before it was there, the Langsha, Kwekwe Cables and so forth, and I hopefully, and I'm looking forward to see them also winning the promotion into the Premier League.
Indeed, so we're looking ahead to that big match. This is the weekend that gives us the cup games, and it's going to be 2 cup weekends that we are going to be having in the local Premier Soccer League. So it's exciting times. Knockout tournaments always bring something special. Fringe players get to shine, and those that have got the bit of luck also get to bring us the spectacle. I certainly hope you've enjoyed the spectacle that we did bring you today from Chawanda Stadium. From myself, Valentine Mabugu, my 2 analysts, Justice Chief Machavi, as well as Dalubu Shepepe, the crew behind the scenes, our producers. It's bye-bye and happy viewing on ZBC TV.
Missed the breaking news on ZBC? Missed your favorite show again because you were stuck at work? Not anymore. Introducing Z Plus, the new ZBC OTT platform. Listen to Radio Zimbabwe, Classic 263, Power FM, National FM, or any of your favorite